So I'm Lisette Howlett. I have a Sandler franchise in central London, or London inside the M25, and I started in September 2010. So yeah, well, interesting. I had a proper job. I was kind of, global head of kind of HR and business development in a big corporate based in Switzerland for 5 years. Came back to the UK, set up my own consulting company, as one does. Found Sandler and became a client. So did that for a little over a year, and then thought, oh, I'm good now. I know what I'm doing. And then actually having lunch with somebody who I was a delegate with, or was a trainee with, we sort of were talking about how we would run a franchise if we were to own one. And by the end of the lunch, we decided to go buy one. Particularly given my background, there's actually a lot of freedom. You can kind of, the methodology and the syntax I would never vary from, as I say. But there is a lot of freedom to blend it with some other things, to do your own kind of thing, and to kind of really get under the skin of the business. And there's also a really great chance to kind of like build some of the intellectual property and kind of contribute to the intellectual properties. So I've got a book, so I'm going to be writing a book on a little bit on my background, but it's kind of how you kind of attract and retain talent, so the Sandler way. And then the other thing, which is probably what's taking most of my time at the moment, is that one of the things that I was finding is people were coming to me having done some marketing stuff with other people, and I sort of didn't like what they were being told to do. It was very USP driven or features and benefits driven, and so you spend time kind of unhooking them. And the other thing, and this is maybe my competitiveness, is I had a lot of people coming to me and saying, well, I can't decide whether to invest in marketing or invest in sales training. So what I'm developing is a marketing works program, so it's really around the whole kind of strategic planning, putting a marketing plan, and then working on the different tactics. And that's going to be, fingers crossed, a Sandler product. Honestly, I think it's recession proof. I think people are more cautious about investing money, and I think that people are more spread out, so they're like more kind of spread across a number of fronts, so they have less time to think about things. So actually you have to kind of like be able to get in there a little bit faster and get them mobilized a little bit faster. But I'm not convinced that it's been a problem. I've got my ultimate goal is to get to a 6-person business. So I'm clearly building a business. My other goal is I want to be all over the professional services business. It works with my corporate background. I do a lot of positioning in the marketplace as someone who works with reluctant salespeople, and I'm just signing up a collaboration with one of the finance institutions to be their trainer at marketing and sales trainer of choice. But I think what I'd be saying is to be really clear about what you're wanting to do with the Sandler business, because it's both the model, of course, itself is quite flexible, but Fiona and Sean are also very flexible about how much you get involved and how much you don't get involved. So that would be one of the things I would advise. The other thing, which I always say to people when I quite often talk to the new franchisees, they'll sort of make contact with me. So I say to them, you've got to really commit to learning the stuff, getting over to the US for the conferences, coming over to Chipping Norton to do the kind of behaviours. So it's really, you've got to take it seriously. And certainly for me, because I hobbied around with it for a while, and when I decided actually I was going to take it seriously, it's been incredibly easy.